You run $50 billion and you have never owned a single cent of it. Your name is on a building in Greenwich, Connecticut, and 400 people drive there every morning to turn that name into more money than some countries make in a year. This is your life at every level of running a hedge fund. From your first $40,000 bonus to the morning you understand that the market has never once known you were alive. The glamour is real. So is the bill. You just can't see the invoice from where you're standing. So go back. Go back to the desk where it started, and the man who keeps a yellow legal pad squared to the edge of it, writing one number at the top every morning before the open. His name is Garrett. The number is the high water mark, the highest the fund has ever climbed. Below it, he earns nothing. The rule of this world is that you only get paid on new ground. Garrett has been writing the same number for 14 months. He pretends not to notice. You pretend with him. You are 23, and you would do anything to be him. Level 1. The analyst. Your first $40,000. The fund hires you out of a 2-year stint pricing derivatives at a bank, and on your first day, Garrett walks you past the row of screens and says, the only thing that matters here is whether you were right, and whether you can prove it before anyone else. That's the warmth. Nobody asks where you went to school. Nobody cares who your father was. The P&L doesn't care. Your first week you stay until 11 every night, not because anyone asked, but because you can't stop. The work is interesting. Actually interesting. The way nothing has been since you were 19, and the world was still a puzzle you thought you could solve. You drive home at midnight with your windows down and feel something you don't have a word for yet. For the first time in your life, you are in a room where the only currency is being correct, and it feels like being seen. Then in month 4, you get on a call with an expert. The fund pays $1,200 an hour. A man who happens to still sit on the supply chain committee of a company you're short. He tells you the quarter is going to miss. He shouldn't be telling you this. You write it down. You let the call in before the next question forms, the one that would require him to say the word you'd both have to pretend he didn't say. The line you don't cross is the one you walk right up to. That's how this works. The trade makes the fund $11 million. Your bonus is $40,000. You take Devin, your analyst class friend, the one who took a third of the pay to manage a state teacher's pension, to a dinner that costs $400 and you don't look at the bill. Devin looks at the bill. You notice him noticing. What did it cost to be right? You don't know yet. Right now, it just feels like being seen. Level 2. Portfolio Manager. $300 million book. 3 years in, they hand you your own sleeve. $300 million, yours to run. And the number changes every second the market is open. Here's what nobody tells you about the money. It stops being money. It becomes a sound. A green number and a red number. And the red one has a frequency that gets into your back teeth. You have a 4-bedroom house in Cos Cob now, and you sleep in maybe 2 rooms of it. Because at 3 a.m., you're in the kitchen with a tablet watching the Nikkei, decide whether tomorrow is a good day to be alive. You bought a Peloton. You've ridden it once. The pool out back has been swum in 0 times. You had it heated all summer anyway, for no one. The gain is real. You clear $2.1 million that year, more than your parents earned in their lives combined. You wire your mother enough to retire, and she cries on the phone. And for about a day, you feel like the number was worth it. Devin makes 1/10 of that, and sleeps every night. You notice this the way you notice weather, and move on. Then comes your first real drawdown. Down 8% in a week. You don't tell anyone how it actually feels. That the loss was never about the money. It's that the market just told you, in public, in front of Garrett, that you might not be good. That you might be a man who got lucky 3 times and called it skill. Garrett writes his high water mark that morning. It's lower than last year's. He squares the pad to the edge of the desk and says nothing. Level 3. Founder. $1 billion. You raise your own fund at 34. $1 billion on day one. Because your track record is a story people want to own a piece of. And the story is, this person is good. 2 and 20. 2% of $1 billion is $20 million a year, just to keep the lights on. You are rich now, whether or not you ever make anyone another dollar. That's the part they don't print. The management fee means you've already won. The performance is just the story you tell, so they let you keep playing. You hire your own analyst class. You hire a kid who reminds you of you. You walk him past the screens and say the only thing that matters is whether you were right. And then, in your second year, on an ordinary Tuesday, you're looking at the 11 funds that launched the same quarter you did. 9 already closed, founders gone quiet, LinkedIn's quietly updated to investor and advisor, and you finally do the arithmetic nobody in this building says out loud. You cannot tell if you have edge. Nobody can. Every one of those 9 dead funds was run by someone who, at your exact stage, was just as certain as you are right now. The market keeps the ones who were right and erases the ones who weren't. And from the inside, there is no difference between skill and a coin that hasn't come up tails yet. The number on Garrett's pad was never a target. It's a headstone for the version of him that could still believe. You sit with that for a long time. The screens are still running. You don't tell anyone. The next morning, you write your own number at the top of a fresh pad. Level 4. $10 billion. The redemption. The fund is $10 billion now. You don't pick stocks anymore. You pick the people who pick them. 40 of them, in pods. And the rule is the same one Garrett gave you. You are only as good as your drawdown limit. Hit your stop, you're out. You fire a PM in March, a man with 2 kids and a mortgage in Darien. Not because he's wrong, but because he's down 7%, and down 7 means gone. You do it in 4 minutes. You're already in the next meeting. You got as far as, "This isn't working." You didn't get as far as his face. Devin calls you that week. 11 years on the pension desk now, up 4% for the year, which is the best he'll do, and is plenty. Nobody at a teacher's fund gets fired for 4%, and nobody gets rich. You mention the PM you cut. He's quiet a moment, then says he's never once had to end someone over a number. You change the subject. The betrayal from above arrives the same year, and it's quieter. Your seed investor, the family office that gave you the first billion, whose name opened every door after, redeems, pulls all of it. Not because you did anything wrong. Their allocation model rotated. The man who made you, whose house you have eaten in, doesn't make the call himself. An associate emails the redemption notice at 4:58 on a Friday, late enough that no one has to pick up a phone. The relationship was the product. You had thought it was a relationship. That May, at the Sohn conference, deep into a bad night, an old trader you've never met, 70, retired, 3 blow-ups behind him, watches you stir a drink you're not drinking and says, "The market doesn't know your name. That's the only honest thing in this whole building." Then he's gone into the crowd before you can ask him anything, and you're left holding the truest sentence anyone has said to you in a decade. Level 5. $50 billion. The name on the door. 50 billion. You're one of maybe 30 people on Earth at this altitude, and here is what it actually is. You do not trade. You haven't entered an order in 4 years. You manage risk. You manage people. You manage the LPs. And mostly, you manage the story. The one about how this person is good. You fly private to Davos to tell rooms full of people that story. The plane has a bed you've slept in twice. Your net worth is somewhere past 2 billion, and you learn the exact figure from your family office the way you'd learn the temperature. A number reported to you about a life that's happening somewhere adjacent to you. There's a house in Aspen you've seen in photographs your assistant took. There's a wine cellar inventoried by a man you've met once. And the fund doesn't need you. That's the part that arrives slowly and then all at once. The strategies are systematized. The Edge, whatever it was, has been written into code that runs whether you're in the building or in the Aegean. Your name is on the door because investors need a name to trust. And the most replaceable component in a $50 billion machine is the human being it's named after. You provided the seed. The capital did the rest. The capital has a succession plan, and you are not in it. You call Garrett that winter. His fund closed years ago, never climbed back above that high water mark, ran underwater so long the math went pointless. The LP's gone. The door's shut. He answers on the fourth ring. He sounds fine. He sounds like a man who finally stopped writing the number every morning. You realize you've been writing yours for 19 years. The legal pad is still on your desk. You still square it to the edge. You still write the highest the fund has ever been at the top each morning, even though a computer tracks it to 8 decimal places and has never once needed your handwriting. Here is what this life actually is. You spent it being measured against the best you ever did, by a market that was never keeping score. In a building full of people doing the same thing and calling it ambition. If this hit something, subscribe, drop a like. There's more coming. Devin retired last spring. He coaches his daughter's soccer team now. He called to tell you they reached a regional final, and you stayed on the phone longer than you've stayed on any call about money in years. That's the number he ended on. Somewhere tonight, a 23-year-old prices her last derivative at a bank, and a fund is about to teach her that the only thing that matters is whether she was right. Her first bonus is $40,000. She thinks that's what being right pays.